This game or this series probably does not define the season, or meaning it's not a win or go home situation. But these are definitely the games that you look at in late September when you're fighting for that playoff spot, and you're like, you know what, we really needed those games. Welcome back to the Phightins Final, folks. Here on the Edge of Philly Sports with your boy Matty B, and tonight Phillies very unceremoniously with Williamsport, Pennsylvania, the Little League World Series as their backdrop, just came out and just was not. It just didn't play well, and they lost tonight 4-3 to the Washington Nationals, dropping now 2 out of 3 to the Nationals, and continuing to frustrate, bewilder, and befuddle me and a lot of other Philly fans in the process. And tonight we're gonna take a deeper look into this, kind of find out where things went wrong. I mean, it's pretty obvious. It's not like it's something new. It's a pretty standard recipe with this team, and when they struggle hard. But Zach Wheeler tonight, kind of got off of the very rocky start, but he locked it down throughout the middle innings, and then went 7 for the game. Got once again really no offense behind him to help him out. Trevor Williams, on the other hand, was pretty much dominant all game for the Nationals. I mean, to say the word dominant and the Nationals in the same sentence is just kind of like sacrilege. But that's what happened tonight as the Phillies once again made a very average pitcher in Trevor Williams look like Cy Young. And that's what happens to this team. That's what's been happening to this team all season long as the Phillies fall tonight 4-3. Cowboy Dave checking in. Dave says, "Hi, Matty B, or hey, Matty B, long time no see." Yeah, Dave, it's been a minute. Summer's been tough, man. Trying to kind of do a lot of different things all at once, but my schedule's lightening up a little bit. This week is my last crazy week, and then after that, I should be good to go. So hopefully, you'll be seeing a lot more of me in the future. But let's get back to this thing. Let's go inside the numbers a little bit. Phillies on the night. 3 runs on 6 hits, no errors. The Nationals 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors. How the scoring went down. Ruiz would get things going for the Nationals in the first. He would knock in Abrams and Thomas a 2-run double, 2-0 Nationals. They weren't done as Dominic Smith would come in and make it 4-0 when he would knock in Meneses and Ruiz. 4-0 was your score heading into the second inning, and that was all the scoring that would happen until the newly recalled Brandon Marsh, back from a rehab assignment with AAA or with Lehigh Valley, would knock in Bryson Stott to make it 4-1 in the ninth. Then J.K. would come up and homer to make it 4-3. It was a 2-run shot, would knock in Marsh as well. But once again, that's little. It's way too little, way too late, as the Phillies would fall today, 4-3. Kyle Schwarber on the day, 0 for 3 with a strikeout, hovering that average around 182. Trey Turner, who had himself a hell of a day yesterday, 1 for 4. Bryson Stott 0 for 3. I'm sorry, Bryce Harper 0 for 3. Castellanos 1 for 4. Stott 1 for 4. Marsh 1 for 4. Cave 1 for 4. I guess your offensive standout of the game, as he had that late home run, that late 2-run shot to give Philly some life. Jake Cave's been smoking the ball since his return from AAA. Garrett Stubbs tonight, who got to start at catcher, 1 for 3, and that is all she wrote for the Phillies offensively, as they were unable to pound out anything more than 6 hits. They left 6 runners on base. They were 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position. For the pitching aspect of it, again, Wheeler will get saddled with the loss. He's now 9-6, but he went 7. I'm going to give him 6 strong innings, take that first inning out of there. 7 hits, 4 runs. They were earned, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. Ortiz comes on, pitches an inning. Trevor Williams with the win, 6 innings, 2 hits over 6 innings. 2 hits. He 2-hit the Phillies through 6. No runs, no earned. 3 walks and 4 strikeouts. A pedestrian effort from a pitcher who's got a 4.95 ERA. But again, looking like Cy Young when facing the Phillies. Weems, Harvey, Thompson, and Finnegan would save his 21st. And that's how you get 4-3 Nationals. And the Phillies failed to make up any ground in this series as they dropped 2 out of 3 to the lowly Washington friggin' Nationals tonight. And I guess what left looking for answers yet again. Walter, what's up, man? Washington is 16-4 in the last 20 home games, so they are not that easy to beat. Says you, Walter, the Washington Nationals are a AAA baseball team. All right, that's the bottom line. The Phillies were able to pound out, what was it, 12 runs yesterday, 7 runs in a game they should have won on Friday because they blew it. And then today they get befuddled and shut down by Trevor Williams. Walter, I respect your opinion very greatly, but I think you're way off base here. The Washington Nationals are a dumpster fire, and the Phillies should not have lost this series. Matter of fact, the Phillies should have swept this series. And this is what teams the Phillies need to win these games. These are the games, and again, I said this at the top of the show. These are the games that come back and bite us on the butt come September, come late September, early October, as we're attempting to kind of get a playoff position. And you look back and say, you know what? We lost 2 out of 3 to the Washington Nationals. We lost 3 out of 4 to the, whoever, the Kansas City Royals or whatever, those types of teams. And the Phillies have struggled all season with these lower level teams, and it's just you can't have it. You just can't have it. A team that's got World Series aspirations can't be dropping 2 out of 3 in late August to the Washington Nationals. I don't care how you try to sell it to me. I'm not buying it. The Phillies need to win these games, pure and simple. No excuses necessary. So 4-3 Phillies, the losers tonight. But again, Walter, please don't stop chiming in. I love you, and I love all the stuff that you provide, but I think you're way off base on this one. I'm not saying that the Nationals have not done what they've done at home, but you know what? Again, I'm not buying the fact that the Phillies, a World Series team or World Series aspiration team, can't win 2 out of 3 against them anywhere. I don't care if they're playing on Saturn. They should be able to do this, do that to them, and they were just unable to because of inconsistencies yet again that have plagued this team all season long. Again, it's not a new recipe; it's the same stuff, and it's getting old. It's getting old talking about it, Walter. Don't you think? Don't you think it's getting a little old talking about Kyle Schwarber's ineffectiveness in the leadoff hole, Zach Wheeler, or any inserts the what the number 1 or number 2 pitcher in this rotation, his name in this next blurb. They had that one bad inning. It's getting kind of old to kind of talk the same thing over and over again for the last 6 months. That's what we've been doing now. It's getting old, and soon, very soon, we're not going to be able to make excuses for them. It's either put up or shut up, and it's put up or shut up time now, folks. And the Phillies blew an opportunity yet again to kind of get healthy, pad their stats, pad the standings, make up some ground, pull some separation between them and the teams that are chasing them. By the way, one of them is coming into town tomorrow, in the form of the San Francisco Giants, who the Phillies have struggled heavily against over the last few seasons, and now they're going to battle the Giants with the wild card lead at stake. So, are the Phillies ready for this? Or am I ready for this? I mean, I guess time will tell. But based on what they did this weekend, you can't be feeling too confident about it, can you, folks? I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's take a look around at your scores of Major League Baseball on this Sunday. The Phillies had the ESPN game in Williamsport. By the way, got the opportunity to root a little earlier for the media team. That's, I guess, they're technically the Mid Atlantic regional winners, but they're participating in the Little League World Series. So they were the ESPN game tonight. So earlier today, we had the Mariners over the Astros 7-6. These games are all final, by the way. The Red Sox over the Yankees 6-5. The Giants over the Braves 4-3. And again, we'll get the Giants coming in tomorrow. Tigers over the Guardians 4-1. Blue Jays over the Reds 10-3. And the Twins over the Pirates 2-0. Cardinals over the Mets 7-3. Cubs 4-3 winners over the Royals. Brewers 6-2 winners over the Rangers. White Sox 10-5 winners over the Rockies, and the Orioles all over those Athletics 12-1. And there you have your scores on this Sunday of baseball. As mentioned, next for the Phillies is a 3-game set with Gabe Kapler and those San Francisco Giants. Tomorrow they'll get all kicked off at the bank. Scott Alexander will be going for the Giants, and he'll be opposed by Mr. Aaron, 30 home run this season Nola. 6:40 first pitch down there at Citizen Bank Park in a playoff atmospheric game. Let's face it, folks. This is it, man. This should have playoff feel to it. It's a 3-game set between the two teams that are vying for the number 1 spot in the wild card in the National League. This is definitely early, or I guess mid to late August playoff vibe to it, as the Phillies really need to get their A game together for this series and put aside all this the stuff they got going on here. But yeah, the Giants are in tomorrow. So and then Walter chiming in saying that his understanding is that the Phillies have Nola, Walker, and Lorenzen. I expect at least a 2-win series. So Nola can't keep the ball in the yard, and he can't stay away from the big inning. Walker has kind of fallen off a cliff a little bit, and Michael Lorenzen got battered around after his first two very quality starts for the Phillies. Walter, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that that I expect a 2-win series. I hope they sweep, but the reality is something totally different. Can Nola stay away from the big inning? Can Walker kind of piece it back together again, and can Michael Lorenzen put the last start in the rear view? So and then, of course, can the offense come through? And I guess that's really what it boils down to, because today Wheeler only gives up 4 runs, and they were in the first goddamn inning. So the Phillies had 8 innings, or yeah, 8 innings to kind of come back. Uh, Nothing is to be expected anymore from this team this year, Walter. It's almost like you kind of just let it roll with it, and hopefully we get everything in our favor and it works out. But to sit here and for me to say that I expect anything, I can't do that, Walter. But you would think on paper, with those 3 starters in those 3 positions, yeah, you definitely could walk out of there with a series win that you need to. But to say that I expect it, I'm not going to go that far, Walter. But hopefully, all ends well that ends well. Right? Is that what they say? Let's take a look around the standings now. Again, as I mentioned, the Phillies still holding court as that number 1 wild card team, but they are just about a 2-game leader over the Giants. So a lot could be kind of uh, dictated. What happens earlier next week is when the Giants and Phillies are going to throw it down. The Cubs are just a half a game out of the off the pace of the. They're about a half a game, or they're about a game behind the Giants, about I guess 3 behind the Phillies. The Reds, 1 game off the pace, and they're your 3 wild card teams, or I guess it would be the Phillies, Giants, and Cubs right now, if the season were to end today. The Reds are just 1 game out. The Marlins 1 game out. The Diamondbacks 1 game out, and the Padres sinking like a stone, along with the Mets, 6 and 7 games out respectively. So things are tight in the National League wild card race. Phillies cannot afford to drop 2 out of 3 from the Washington Nationals with things this tight. For your league standings, or for your divisional standings, the Phillies now 13 and a half behind the surging Atlanta Braves, who have won their 80th game. They won their 80th game yesterday. Of course, they lost today, so they're 80 and 43. I'm not ready to say it's over, but it's starting to look a little bit like that in the National League East for the Phillies. But again, I'm not gonna say that it is, but it's certainly looking that way, as the Phillies are now 13 and a half games behind the Atlanta Braves. As I'm trying to get my cat down, so sorry about that. Yeah, there you have the standings around Major League Baseball. Let's get it. Anytime we only give up 4 runs, we should win. I 100% agree with you, especially when you give up those 4 runs in the first inning. You have 8 innings to try to make up that deficit. And Wheeler did lock it down. Just got no help until the ninth, and it's just not going to work. And again, I can't listen to anyone try to talk rational to me about why you couldn't manage to score any runs against the Washington friggin' Nationals for 8 innings. I really can't. They only managed 6 hits on the entire night. They only got 4 runners into scoring position on the entire night. They were able to get one of those runners in, but they struck out as a team tonight 7 times. Respectable. That's nothing completely off the realm. I mean, the Phillies are averaging 9 strikeouts a game, so that was below average. They were able to get on base via 3 walks. Just couldn't get anything, couldn't get that hit going. Again, it's a familiar sight. It's a familiar recipe. The top of the lineup went silent after rattling off 12 runs yesterday. And that's what you have. Again, this is not something that's new with this team, at least not for me. I've been watching all year, and it's been that way. why are we even looking at the division? You're looking through rose-colored glasses if you think they have a chance to win the division. It ain't over till it's over. Let's get it. All right. I've been around a long, long time and I've seen crazier things happen. Let me see. 7 games out in September, and they won their division. So listen, it ain't looking very good. It ain't looking, respective or promising. They still got some games at hand with the Braves. It's not over. If it was over, then they would be mathematically eliminated from winning the NL East. It ain't over. It ain't over till they say it's over, man. And I ain't gonna admit to that until it's over. It ain't looking good, I'll give you that, but it's not over. I've seen crazier things. But with series like this one, where they failed to make up any ground against a bottom feeder, it definitely doesn't look well or promising. But it ain't over, and we'll see. They got a lot of games. I think they have 8 on hand with the Braves head to head yet this season. So let's pump the brakes and let's kind of give the Phillies their due. Let them play their games. 4-3 though tonight is the final as the Phillies fall to the Washington Nationals. And well, I got you here. Let me remind you of the lineup here on EOP. This is last week's lineup, but just to kind of fill you in on what's happening tomorrow. Talking Philly sports with Matty B. I'm familiar with the show host. It's me. I will be coming on. I will be coming on tomorrow. I wasn't here last Monday, but I will be back. But it's not going to be till later on. It's not probably not going to be till like around 11. I got something I got to do, and then when I get home, I will go right on the air. But yeah, so I will be on tomorrow at around 11 o'clock. So for those of you who are going to sit up and watch and wait, please, it's going to be worth the wait, man. It's going to be a good show. You can also catch it, of course, on the repeat on YouTube or Facebook. So or on the website. If you want to travel like the pros, look no further than Philly Sports Trips, and of course, they got you covered for all the Eagle road games this year, and particularly this one of the first ones in the shoot, one of the first really good ones in the shoot. It's a Monday night game down there in Tampa from the 22nd to the 26th. Hollis Thomas, Vince Miracle Papali, and David Akers will be on hand for that trip, so make sure you're checking them out, and then head over to the website and look at everything that Philly Sports Trips has to offer. Again, if you want to travel like the pros, look no further than phillysportstrips.com. And if you're looking to maybe not so much travel like the pros, but just go to a game, Sherry's Ticket Town is the place you need to look at. Great prices and no hidden fees for sports, concerts, and theater at www.sherrystickets.com. Family owned and operated since 1946. Save an additional 10% when you enter the promo code EOP10. And then if you have workman's compensation, motor vehicle accidents, personal injury, or criminal law, it is Dave Cherry is the man. 610-565-0300. Let Dave know that EOP Matty B and the Phightins Final sent you. Dolan's Bar Grill down there on 24 East Sellers Ave in Ridley Park for all your Quizzo music, great times, memorabilia giveaways, and you never know who's going to walk through that front door. Give Dolan's a try. 24 East Sellers Ave in Ridley Park in the Delco section of, I guess, Pennsylvania. So make sure you're checking them out. Folks, it's going to really much wrap me up. Not really too much to get into in depth on this game. It's a wash and repeat kind of game for the Phillies tonight as they fall 4-3 to the Nationals, thus sending themselves into a really interesting week with the Giants first up, and then of course the Angels right behind them. Or I'm sorry, the Giants first up, then it's the Cardinals, and then it's the Angels. So a homestand of 9-game homestand with a day off sandwiched in there. This is it. I mean, this is it. This really is it. We got to start. We got to start handling our business because we can't seem to do it against the bottom feeders. Now we're going to get 2 teams in the Giants and the Angels that are kind of definitely in playoff contention. Got the Cardinals who are kind of on that bottom feeder level, but it's going to get interesting. And it starts tomorrow at the bank. Aaron Nola gets the nod for the Phillies to start that series. So make sure you're checking out all the action for the Phillies for this week, and make sure you're checking out all the Phightins Final action after every single Phillies game here on the Edge of Philly Sports. I am going to sign off, but I will leave you as I will leave you every Sunday night on this show when I host it. And that, of course, is your look back at your week that was in Phillies home runs. Till we talk again, till we talk again later, go Phils.
Listen, he was throwing 98.
Fly ball center field, pretty well hit. Varsho going back toward the wall. It is gone! Solo home run for Bryce Harper. It's his 8th of the year, and the Phillies have tied this game up. It's a 2-2 game.
The hitter will let you know. Ball's murdered. He's starting to backspin some baseballs here, Tom. As opposed to, when you're looking up, you're just looking up at the sky.
That ball is crushed deep to right center field. Cave has just gone yard. A solo home run, his 3rd of the year, and the Phillies lead it 8-4. That was a majestic thing of beauty from Jake Cave.
You want to talk about a no-doubter? Jake Cave letting it eat.
A 1.59 ERA. That one is launched deep to right center field, and it is gone. 2 home runs tonight for Harper. That solo shot makes it 9-4.
He went back to the well one too many times. The 3rd breaking ball, actually 4th. You want to mix in that slider.
And I'm sitting there thinking 5 years ago, there may have been one. There's a towering fly ball to deep right field. Garrett's going back to the scoreboard. It is gone into the first row. A 2-run home run for Schwarber. His 31st of the year, and it just got out of the yard.
A Schwarberian blast to right center. Good guys up 6-1. Well, we are at Nationals Park.
Fly ball right center field. That's well hit. Going back is call. It is gone. Kyle Schwarber with his 2nd home run of the night. He's made it a 1-run game, 8-7. And it's only appropriate that the guy who took the hat out of John Crook's collection made the catch.
A fine grab by the Phillies fan. Schwarberian goes up top.
Out to right center field. That's pretty well hit. Thomas is going back. It is gone! An opposite field 3-run home run. Nick Castellanos has just tied this ball game up. He smoked it. It's his 21st of the year, and in one big swing, the Phillies have tied it up at 3.
Heads up right center. We got a ball incoming.
That one's hit well. Deep to left field. Out of line. It is gone! And the Phillies take the lead here in the top of the 8th inning. They got him on, and they got him across home plate. His 13th homer of the year. It's a 4-3 game.
Former Nat exacting some revenge. Little ticked off about a couple ABs today. About going down that mountain.
That ball's drilled deep to right field. Can the exclamation point be up? It is! It's gone! A 3-run home run for Bryson Stott. And the Phillies have ripped it open here in the 8th inning on top 10-3.
Dare I say it, this offense is combustible. You're right. They're having some fun out there, partner.
Scoring position in this inning. That one's hit well. Out to left field. Garrett's going back. He has 2 in 1 inning. Trey Turner, 2 solo home runs here in the 8th. And the Phillies just keep on adding on. It's 11-3.
Trey, did you have a good game today? No, I had one hell of an 8th inning. How about it?
It's also the 18th time this year. Out to right center field. That's pretty well hit. Thomas is going back. It is gone! An opposite field 3-run home run. Nick Castellanos has just tied this ball game up. He smoked it. It's his 21st of the year, and in one big swing, the Phillies have tied it up at 3.